Despite the fact that the UK Prime Minister, which is Sunak, made an announcement a couple of days ago that the general election is going to hold on the 4th of July 2024, there has been a lot of question, or there's still more debate around the current government rejecting the findings of the Migration Advisory Committee and propelling or pushing the government to scrap the graduate route visa. One would have thought that because of the whole election tension, the conversations around scrapping the postal visa is going to end. However, it seems that the opposition party are trying to use that as a propaganda to like force the hand of the Conservative Party and make sure that they lose their votes because they are not listening to the British people, or it's really becoming a political thing, to be honest. So, but there's still more conversations, more debate around why the government should scrap the graduate route visa. And this calls for a lot of action to be taken by international students, especially for those of us who are already in the UK or those who are planning to come into the UK, to make sure you have a strategic plan when it comes to studying in the UK. You don't want to spend 15 to 20,000 pounds and you're unable to get more time to find a way to integrate into the system. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about things that the current situation around post-study work visa, the possible outcome of this whole saga, and what you need to do to get yourself a job even before completion of your master's program here in the United Kingdom. So if this sounds like something that will interest you, don't go anywhere, keep watching till the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So those were we a couple of about a week or thereabouts ago. The Migration Advisory Committee came up with the conclusion that the government should not stop the post-study work visa, and there was a whole lot of anger and displeasure by the media on this outcome. And this is because their point is a bit valid, and they claim that the Migration Advisory Committee is majorly the board of directors or the head of the advisory committees are all, professors, doctors, and they definitely will put the interest of the university in mind before, they come to that conclusion. And the conclusion is that the postdoc visa should not be scrapped. And according to people or those in the opposition party, they claim that, the Migration Advisory Committee made that decision because they know if they decide to scrap the postdoc visa, it's going to affect universities. Universities won't get students, and it's definitely going to affect, the revenue generated by UK universities. And a lot of debate has been going around the media, and this particular debate really caught my attention. This happened about a day or 2 days ago, and the opposition party are really, really out, to make sure that this postdoc visa is scrapped. And listen to what this person has to say during this
institutions who feel that they could be at risk financially without the numbers of foreign international students coming here, that the attractiveness of coming to study here is not just about the universities, but the fact that you can stay as a foreign student for a couple of years afterwards. They bring in tens of billions of pounds to the economy every year. So is it right to keep it in place, the graduate visa scheme?
No, it's the wrong decision. The university funding model is completely broken. So what's basically happening is the universities are using international student migration to try and plug the holes in a system that doesn't really work. Many of the people coming in on the graduate visa programme, which by the way was another legacy of Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings' administration, often go into work where they're earning less than the median wage. They're often going to low-skill, low-wage jobs. They'll come in, they'll do a one-year MA, typically at a non-elite university, second, third-tier university to get into the UK. Well, they'll then move over into the labour market, and they won't just stay for 1 year. They'll often stay for 2, 3, and often push for a lifetime stay while bringing relatives with them. So what we're doing, let's be frank, we've created a Ponzi scheme which is taking more out of Britain's economy than it's putting in. Because when most people think about international students, particularly people in the Financial Times and academics and so on, they think about the nice PhD students studying at Oxbridge. Well, that ain't happening. What we've got are hundreds of thousands of students from Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all very, nice people wanting to make the world a better place. but they're coming in, taking more out of the economy overall than they're putting in, which is why, by the way, our GDP per head is so weak. It's why our economy is not really growing.
All right,
because we're just throwing lots of bodies at this economy, hoping that it's going to work. And actually, it isn't. We've created a Deliveroo economy.
George Osborne, since we mentioned him earlier, former Chancellor, said the university sector is a huge asset to the UK economy. He said it would be absolutely ridiculous to damage one of the greatest success stories of the UK economy. Lincoln, for example, might be one of those areas which would really suffer economically as a result.
Yes, but Joe, this is where Britain, we're great at avoiding the really difficult decisions. There are lots of universities in this country that shouldn't be universities. There are lots of universities that should be local vocational technical colleges investing in local British kids. Now, what we're doing instead is we're saying, let's inflate this higher education sector. Let's fill it with as many people as possible, even if they're earning less than the median wage and they're not actually contributing.
We'll come on to some of the more detail, but you represent a university town.
Indeed, two universities in York, and this has had... Just even announcing the policy has had a real chilling effect on the number of applicants which are coming from overseas. You cannot pivot an economic model for the rights and the ills of the model to then move to a different system like that for universities. They've got a business model and they need to obviously make the books balance as well. We know that graduates not only put so much into the economy with the skills which they're able to offer, but on top of that, it's also an essential piece of our soft power globally, which is a really important piece of where we sit on the global stage. So it is the right decision that the government has made. It's followed the evidence rather than making an announcement or scrap it and then reintroduce. It hasn't followed the evidence. It's the opposite of that. Introducing a scheme and saying they're going to make an announcement and then doing a U-turn, it would be better if they looked at the evidence first, and that's how we would take a long-term approach at looking at how we make decisions in government, following the evidence, ensuring that we're commissioning, a proper long-term focus on things. But also, what we need to ensure is that we look at the real value this is, not just to home students, but also international students and that wider piece as well.
Matt?
So, first of all, remarkably, the Home Office and other government departments won't even release a lot of the data that we need to track the earnings of people who are coming in and out of the country.
Can I just interrupt just on that point, because you've mentioned it twice. But again, according to Brian Bell, who is, I think, the head of the Migration Advisory Committee who looked at this, he said that actually there wasn't that much evidence, Matt, to suggest that they were earning lower salaries than British students who were graduating. They were also on similar salaries. So this sort of undercutting thing, he didn't think there was evidence of that.
The Migration Advisory Committee previously has been very explicit in their writing in saying that they essentially don't think the graduate route has been created in a way that is supporting a dynamic, growing, innovative economy. And it's very clear when you look...
Except it supports universities.
Some universities, Joe, we have to be more nuanced. I think York, Russell Group, Oxbridge, great universities. I'm a university professor. I'm going to shout from the hilltops, our universities should be supported. But our higher education model, let's just be honest, our higher education model, it's too big, it's broken, and we're using international students to plug the holes because nobody on the left or the right can be bothered to say, actually, this system isn't working anymore. And most of all, it's not working for British kids.
A call for those who are looking at coming to the UK to study. It shows that if you're coming to this country to study, make sure you're studying a course that would guarantee you a job even before completion of a program. So if you're looking at coming to the UK to study, you need to focus majorly on, courses around, health, that's nursing. If you're looking at getting a job before completion, social work might be your best bet. Or you try to get into, tech roles. So you need to probably get a master's in data science. And before you come to get a master's in data science, make sure you have the skills required, because trust me, most people that came to study data science in the UK were not really taught data science. Core data science. They were just, taught little or basic stuff with the use of R and ML. So you need to make sure that you're studying a course that is in demand, that will get you a job. And while you're studying, please don't just focus on getting a distinction, because the truth is nobody really cares about a distinction. I had a distinction when I studied, and that distinction is not paving any way for me in the job market at all. So what is paving way for me in the job market right now is the skill set I've got in data analytics. So what our advice is, while you're studying, don't be so overzealous about making an ace, being the best in your class. Try to volunteer, try to get, job around what you're doing. Don't get too focused on doing survival jobs, care jobs to make ends meet. Of course, you need to pay bills. You need to do those jobs to pay bills. However, try to create some time to take on voluntary roles that would help with your application, because the UK is so keen about experience. So while you're studying, the first thing is, before you come to study, make sure you're studying a course that's in demand. And if you're already studying in the UK and the course you're studying, is not going to give you a job upon completion, try to start learning some skills, build up that's your portfolio. Um, make yourself valuable, by learning skills to give you competitive advantage when you start pushing out those applications. Because the truth is, if now or later, the election is going to happen on the 4th of July. If the Conservative Party loses to the Labour Party, there's high chances that the Labour Party will be so fixated about scrapping the post-study work visa. And if they do, it means that many international students will have to go back to their own country, because they might not be able to find a job that will keep them in the United Kingdom. So basically, the whole idea is just to make sure that you're studying a course that will give you edge while you're still pushing out, applications to get a professional job that would eventually sponsor you. And with this all increase, thank God for the new entrant that gives international students the chance to be able to apply for jobs, without necessarily meeting the 30,700. This is what you need to leverage on. I remember, according to gov.uk, you've got only, I think, 4 years after the completion of a program to be able to leverage on the new entrant rule. So yeah, that's all about that. So if you're currently in the UK and you have a thought around what people need to do to get a job before completion of their program, or you've got that experience, getting a job before the end of your program, please state in the comment section. You might be helping someone. And if you have any question, also state in the comment section. If you find this video a bit resourceful or insightful, do well to hit on the like button. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, come on, hit the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.